from CDP. My name is Derek Draper. Any minute now you will be getting in your inbox a copy of our new latest newsletter, Derek Draper Space. But I just wanted to give you a quick summary of what's in it, some great insights and ideas that I think you can use right now. The essential read of the week, I think, is from HBR, and it looks at how you can open up teams without oversharing. Right, so this is a crucial issue. You know, we all know that people need to build richer, more authentic relationships to show some vulnerability, but where do you draw the line between that and being kind of emotionally incontinent? And the piece in HBR actually has, I think, 5 or 6 things that you can use to help get that balance right. Pick out 3. The first is to figure yourself out, right? It's what in my book Create Space I call checking in with yourself. What am I feeling before I actually start sharing my feelings? Number 2, regulate your emotions. This is at the heart of EQ, right? You know, sometimes it's appropriate to share and sometimes it isn't. You won't always get that right. It's okay to make a mistake, but you should at least be trying to sort of sit with your emotions, work them out, and then think about what you're going to share rather than just splurging everything out. And then thirdly, and really interestingly, probably crucially, read the room, right? So sometimes it's the moment for kind of sharing stuff and sometimes less so. And that kind of environmental awareness is really important. But a great read, I would say, essential for anyone who works in a team, manages teams, or in HR, kind of oversees team dynamics. Second article is a great article about you shouldn't boast about working too hard, right? You shouldn't boast about how many hours you work. Elon Musk, interestingly, apparently works 120 hours a week. Now, what he might not know is there's studies that show that above a certain level, your productivity starts to dip. Right? So there is no correlation between working more hours and productivity. Well, there is a correlation, it's just the other way around, right? And actually, when you get to 55 hours of work, that's it. It doesn't matter how many hours you work after that, you actually start to dip in terms of productivity, right? Interestingly, Elon Musk also says that you have to work 100 hours in order to, as he puts it, change the world. Now, Charles Darwin, who arguably changed the world more than Elon Musk has so far, used to work 4 days a week, right? And Benjamin Franklin, one of the founding fathers of the United States, used to work no more than 8 hours a week, and sometimes less than that. So, you know, don't make that correlation between working more hours and thinking you're going to be more productive, and make sure that the people around you know that too. Staying with productivity, there's a great article in the bulletin about working smarter, not harder, to use the cliche. 9 different ways that you can do that. At the heart of it is becoming more self-aware about how you are using your time, right? Take a step back, create some space, I would say, to think about what you're doing and why and when. Right, quite an interesting word. I'd never heard it before. A chronotype. Do you know what your chronotype is? Well, if you read the bulletin and that article, you'll be able to find out. And then 2 great articles about Facebook. Right. So one of them for Business Insider. I hadn't realised this, that when the whole Cambridge Analytica data scandal hit Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg found out about it at exactly the same time we did. Right, from the media. Probably from the internet, right? And yet 3 senior Facebook executives knew that that was brewing and knew that it was coming, and they didn't tell him. Why? Well, read the whole article, but there's a ex-Facebook senior executive who says that the culture at Facebook is a little bit too like the Game of Thrones. Now, if we were very tech savvy here at CDP, we could have the theme tune playing, or whatever it is. But very interesting, right? And lessons for every company on what to avoid in terms of that leadership culture. Second great article about Facebook, and probably their attempt to do something about that, is an article from Adweek about how Facebook are changing their bonus structure. So previously they've had a bonus structure which was very related to metrics, right? Business metrics, more engagement, more users, etc. They've changed that now, and they're asking people to be measured by what their contribution is to social good. Right? There's various phrases they use, but that's what it comes down to. Now, maybe it's an admirable idea, but how on earth do you measure that, right? And I suspect there'll be some rather heated conversations in Facebook as they try to get to grips with it. But maybe an interesting innovation to try, and let's see what happens there. Mentioned in the article, interestingly, average Facebook salary, can anyone guess? £200,000. Median, the median salary at Facebook, £200,000. And then a great article about women entrepreneurs, right? And how, what are the kind of changes that are going on in terms of the mindset of female entrepreneurs. A really good piece. I picked out one thing. I think there's 8 observations. Number 4 is that more millennium women want to work with companies that have a female leadership. So it's very significant, right? Not only should obviously companies be having some sort of gender balance in their leadership, which we're far away from still, and not only does the statistics show that companies with female leadership actually perform better, but now what's going to happen is if your leadership is too male dominated in your company, you're going to lose the next generation of really talented women, because they're going to take a look at your company and say, I don't want to be there. Right, so very interesting generational shift, I think, and as I say, very more evidence, if you like, that companies have to take this kind of thing seriously. Last article that I've picked out from Adam Grant, fantastic professor at Wharton. He's looked at overachievers, right? Those people that have to do more and more and more and can't settle unless they're achieving constantly all the time. And he has this amazing trick that he says he uses, which I would recommend any high achievers out there, if there are any, I don't know, try it out. It's a time travel trick, right? I'm not going to tell you what it is, because you either have to read the bulletin or track down what Adam Grant wrote about it. There's a few other articles listed. How Warren Buffett conquered his stage fright, which is really interesting. A case study of how to use, we hear a lot about data analytics in HR. How do you use them? What does it really mean? Brilliant case study from Spotify. And also a step-by-step guide to negotiating a pay rise, which we all could do with, right? But there you go. There's lots of stuff then about how you can buy my book, Create Space, stuff about our company CDP. But if you want to find out more, you can visit www.derrickdrapers.space. That's www.derrickdrapers.space. If you're not subscribed to the newsletter, you can do it via that website. If you are, I hope you enjoy it, and I will see you next week. All right, bye.